Hello friends, and welcome to episode 26 of my SeaBlock playthrough. Today we're finally producing new things. I'm done with producing energy arrays. Done for good with this stuff. Promise. We're done with that. I can't only repeat it to myself one more time. We're done with that. I'm doing this because to me it became quite a strenuous task to build the necessary amount of energy, but I strongly believe in the power of a triple generator block here, or else all the things I did would be unnecessary, overkill, but you know what they say, there's no kill like overkill. Whatever might be the case, this is now what we're looking at. I wanted to record that here. Ta-da! That's a good start. In between somewhere I need to replace this behemoth with something more small, like this, but for now I'll just leave it like that because I'm seriously just done with it. Okay, I'm done with it. What we're going to do today is something else. First off, I want to implement a very nice solution. One of my favorite viewers came up to me with, because I was simply astonished about the simplicity of the approach to solve my problem with the furnaces. If you were watching the last episode, you might have noticed that I was struggling a little bit with some furnaces, and I keep having this weakness. I keep thinking that I need to press Control instead of Shift. I don't know why. Okay. And yeah, I wanted to implement that simple solution because I liked it so much directly on the video. Because as cool as my 90-degree solution there was, like the stuff I did down here. Oh, I need to go down there because my base is too big. That feels good, doesn't it? So, let's go. So, here I did achieve a optimal output by getting the necessary fuel into the furnaces by doing a 90-degree drop by a long-handed inserter around the corner, which is a pretty nifty design in itself. It works out quite decently until you have better inserters. The yellow ones just stink. And we could just he brought me up with this brilliant idea. You know, just drop more. I was baffled about the genius of his idea. So there we go. But every geniality has its downsides. No, not this. Okay, I'm going to replace one of them with a red-handed inserter. So there we go. And this should be solving the problem of the input here. So, little workaround. Replacing the yellow inserters with red inserters to maintain the power. This is a very narrow compound that I'm building here, and I understand that this might come with some problems. Huh. Oh, I could have done the tunnel here. I'm so stupid. Okay, whatever. I don't even have tunnel. Oh man. Alright. So this whole island feels like a really poor country. You always have to wait for things until you get them. There's always a bad supply of everything. Okay. So these things are just not happening because I disconnected them all again. Seems like somebody wanted to save up some resources. And we did. Oh, I like that. So overall, I just noticed that my smelter is also, well, busy. I could drop down some more smelters at this point, which is good. This is something I really want to get to. So I have to keep an eye on that and think about how to achieve that, but not for now. I mean, it should be quite easy since I hand feed them with charcoal, so. Speaking of which, I need another fix. So, where was I? Fixing that little machine there. Yeah, so it's C-block. Every single action takes a little bit longer than usual due to the limitations of the stuff I'm working with. So, one narrow, one. It's one of the best things here, that I can configure them to drop on the belt like I want them to. Here we go. So I wouldn't actually need the mixer after all, or the balancer, I mean. So this was what I wanted to get to. Like, there's no reason to make it that complicated. Okay, so the basic idea was, if I can't get the furnaces emptied with just one inserter, because I can't build the faster inserters, why just not build more furnaces instead? And I was like struck with the brilliance of this idea, and I wanted to drop it down, so thanks for that. You had your, here we had your showcase on that idea. I'm going to let that run like this, because I just am a little bit paranoid about the capacities of this system, so, or concerned. Paranoid is not the right word. I'm concerned about the throughput of the system, so I just want to make sure that we're having enough capacity, because at this point I'm too lazy to calculate how many furnaces I would actually need. But the end of the story is that these guys just have a huge surplus of charcoal at some point. I mean, I can use them as containers myself. And yeah, just replacing efficiency with volume. Sometimes it works, and there we are. So I set up a little something beforehand to get us through this today. So this is the basic setup to produce slag slurry. Slag slurry is a wonderful substance which we can make brilliant things out of. So let's get into the FNEI and check out slag slurry. So even the word is fun. Alright, so the usage for slag slurry is you can filter the stuff together with a charcoal filter and purified water into mineral sludge. You also get sulfuric wastewater, which is a substance I can produce sulfur out of. And there are different ways to do that later with ceramic filters, and these recipes are not really relevant. So this is what we're going to do. First step in the chain is producing the slag slurry, and I already got a hint that the charcoal filters I need, I just need to replenish them with charcoal. The filter frames I keep. Like, it's a process where you put charcoal into the filter frame, it gets used up while producing the mineral sludge, and you have to reload it with charcoal. I haven't set up the process chain yet. I hope I understood the process chain correctly, but this is what it looked like from the outside. And yeah, so we're going to produce a few filter frames up in advance outside of the system, because I was talking in the last episode about needing an influx of iron plates into the new mineral sludge production, which I don't, so that's good. Because I can produce the filter frames outside of the box. So thanks again for that hint. As we see here, we're getting 1 unit of charcoal for 5 filter frames. So we're probably not even going to need much production capacity to get that done. That's good. All right, I'm going to pick up some materials there, and also something I really wanted to do. Handcraft a ton of bullets, because I feel like I need it. Alright, so the way I see it is I need to produce my plates. That sounds like some plastic. You never know what kittens do until you see what kittens did. It's a basic rule of living with kittens. You're not owning kittens, you're living with cats. Always remember that. If you don't have cats and you plan to get some cats, it's the first rule of living with your cats. You're not owning them, you're living with them. It will make you pay for it if you think otherwise. So, oh, come on. I forgot again to make myself furnaces. Okay. So, I just want to add up some more volume into my production here. So we're going to make nothing too special here. Just using some underground belts here and there. There we go. And there. The last thing is some power. It's such a good feeling to know that unless I completely live like unless I don't build like an idiot, my energy production is good for a moment. That's such a lovely feeling. I'm also considering to build up some wind park if I ever have enough iron to produce steel in a larger amount, because I rethinked wind energy a little bit. Maybe I was also wrong when I thought that wind energy was that horrible, because there's one thing I underestimated. It's free energy. It's just bringing you the necessity of building a huge island, of building enough wind turbines. But basically, if I had the patience to craft all those turbines, I could avoid all this and just have wind turbines. I mean, the area, I guess I would have a huge square which is only consisting out of wind turbines, but it would work. And it would need no production at all. It's something, well, I didn't do the math. If I did the math, I guess I would be running away, scared. Alright, I don't know though. I think until I get to the point where I can produce wind energy in that amount, I'm able to produce something better. Guess that's how it will work. So we're going to get this block as a pin, so we can see what we're going to need. I'm producing the electrolyzers. We're needing a liquefier. And we're needing 3 advanced chemical plants? No, I can't even build those. What a foolish assumption this is. So, I have chemical plants. Chemical plant 1. Sounds like the upgraded versions. I think I can only do these small chemical plants. There's a mistake in this order line, so let's check out what can I produce in this section. Chemical furnaces. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Chemical plant 1. That's what I'm having. Alright. Let's put that into the blocks there. So that's what I'm working with, friends. But yeah, it doesn't make any difference. So if we look at this, I want to check out how many of these factories. So looks like I can connect okay, up to 4 of them can be can be linked to one sulfur production. I don't know if I already produce enough hydrogen sulfate gas to do so, but I wanted to have an idea how much electrolyzer space I leave up. Oh boy. So it's 10 to 1. Oops. So that's how it'll look like. Okay, there were some mistakes in there. Looking forward to the day when I'm having tier 2 machines available, but we're still far away from that, I guess. So I'm going to need 2 flare stacks as well to get rid of the output of the electrolyzers, but not as much as I did before. And we're going to need those chemical plants. So 3 of them too. And everything past that is just increasing the amount of slag we're using, or producing much more. So that's that. For the use of the mineral sludge, we're going to go a little bit deeper now. I decided to talk a lot about the topics in this episode because I felt like anybody who hasn't played this mod might find this useful. So the real cool thing about mineral sludge is I can define what kind of ore I want to have. So the times are over to get some mixed productions, and I can redefine my mineral production completely with that. So Jivolite ore, I don't have that technology yet, but what I'm really interested in is the production of rubite ore and bobmonium ore. So I'm going to have 2 of the mineral sludge producers, I'd say, to let 2 crystallizers run on that. Let's note that on this plan. Put the pin back on. So I want 20 electrolyzers, that is. I mean, I have the resources right now to do that. For the first time in my C-block experience, I'm actually having the resources to move quite freely here, which is a really good feeling. So I'm only needing crystallizers then to finish the chain, I just realized, so we're going to do that. And after this, if I understood everything correctly, I'm pretty much able to expand my ore production already, which is a delightful moment. Because my basic plan right now is to get the materials I need to produce green technology and handcraft a few packs of green technology to get access to some technologies which I feel like I can't wait for them. I don't even want to look on the paper which they are, because I start drooling thinking about the options I could get there. So rather not look at them, just keep working. We soon get rewarded. So I'm going to expand my land mass again, because I decided that this area up here is my mineral land. I can even increase the area of that, huh? Yeah, we're doing it big today, because I have 3K units of sand in my inventory. An empire of sand. Wonderful. Okay, so how do I put this up? 20 electrolyzers will be looking like this. This is not too big, so I'll just keep expanding for now. I'm already thinking about what to do with the freed up space I'll gain when I dismantle the old generator array, because I'll be having so much more room after that I'm already thinking about how to use it. I mean, I already pretty much defined the mall area, so maybe I'll use it for science, because it's pretty centralized somehow, or I'm going to build some centralized storage area there. I haven't decided yet. whatever might be the case, I'm enjoying just walking up and down, spending my island leisurely, not worrying about resources for a moment. It's a moment of respite, you know? When you're playing Seablock, every moment where you feel abundance is wonderful. There we go. So this is probably one of the biggest expansions I did in quite a while. But I won't stop producing landmass due to the idea, let alone the idea with the wind turbines I had. I feel like space is a valuable commodity in this mod, because usually you're having a world full of ground to walk on. Here you don't. So it's a privilege to have soil to walk on. Okay, we're going to put up a simple thing here to make it a little bit easier discernible what is happening there. I came up with the idea to arrange the production a little bit differently this time. So, all right, no, that's not the one. 1, 2, 3. That's right. So 1 inserter, 2 inserter. Yeah, okay. So while my production arrays here run downwards, I'm going to let these run sidewards to get some easier idea of how they are organized. And I'm going to replicate that over here. Maybe a little bit more room, because I could put the flare stacks in between these arrays if I leave enough room. Probably left too much room there, but 1, 2, 3. That's not really a problem. I started to prefer a more loosened up style of building towards a very compact and narrow style, because I realized whenever you really need space to do something, and you already narrowed yourself somehow, you're basically making work for yourself harder. Okay, I'm not going to balance that in a larger way. I don't think that's going to be necessary, because I'm only going to produce 5 slag in this belt. A belt which could carry 15. So let's drop down the recipes. And in this scenario, though, I'm going to need a part of the oxygen production to fuel other production chains, which is quite interesting, because we didn't do that before. Bottom line of that is I'm not going to burn the oxygen at this point. We're only going to burn the hydrogen, because I'm going to pipe the oxygen somewhere else to make use of it. Alright, so we're going to need some more inserters. I really consider increasing my production goal on that chest to 50. Above 50, I mean. Because as of lately, I keep needing so many inserters. Because they're everywhere. Well, I mean, look around you. There's a huge inserter army living around us. So my iron production really got amped up by that, I think. So the production pin is covering up my tooltips here. Well, gotta live with that for now. Okay, so next step is... Oh, I forgot to include the production of purified water here. Oops. So, how to produce purified water? That's way less easy than I thought it would be. But luckily, I have stupendous amount of overproduction when it comes down to oxygen and hydrogen. I just need to put a factory before the flare stacks and everything will be fine. So I can basically just decide where I want to have that living. So, but this recipe needs both of the gases, right? Right. So I'm going to need another chemical plant here. What does that mean for me? Going to need this right next to the purified water array. So, I'm curious here, so I want to put up another production recipe here, just to check out how many electrolyzers I would need to satisfy one chemical plant here, because it's a pretty interesting question to me. So we're producing this out of that. So 6 electrolyzers are already giving us enough produce to satisfy this factory. Okay, so we would just need to stop burning this stuff here in my land gain facility, and I could actually just produce the sulfur here, no problem. I burn the you know what stuff, the hydrogen sulfide over here anyways, and I'm having a massive, yeah, I'm doing this. This is just a long story short, this is a great spot to produce sulfur at. So, or no, purified water. There we go. So, the major difficulty here is that I will need to connect this together and at the same time set up some flare stacks to burn the or no, I don't need, I can remove the flares, the whole flare stack policy with that. Sure, of course, I have an idea. This changes everything a little bit in a good way. Okay, so here are the pipes for that. Oh, I'm out of pipes again. No! Okay. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. I have all the materials I need. Okay. Also, let's steal some inserters right away. Because I've learned my lesson. I need tons of these. Okay. So, let's proceed. Dropping one here and one there, and then just connect it like, well, I guess I can't go for a straight connection there then. So I don't have any copper plates directly connected here. And of course I'm going to need something like this here. So the two are now connected. And now let's aim for the same thing here. So this is going to be a little bit more wackadoodle, I guess. Oh, but yeah, I can't avoid the wackadoodle because it wouldn't work with without. Alright. So, there goes. Well, whatever. It's working. This is now producing the purified water I need to, where did I need the purified water again? I need that pin back on. Okay, so, this was necessary for the production of sulfuric acid. Okay. And, we're going to produce sulfur dioxide gas out of that. And, overall, I think if I would be able to just, produce the things I need around the corner here, it would be just awesome. So, although I have now to keep in mind that now all my factories here are connected with the consumption of the hydrogen and the oxygen on this factory, which will possibly lead to a moment where to a situation where whoa. In which direction does that stuff flow? So now it's repaired? Yeah, it's repaired now, okay. So I won't be producing any much more slag out of these thingies here unless I get the oxygen and the hydrogen used up, which is not too cool in my opinion, so I'm going to put it something like this. So, I don't know. If this ends up with a production line that just doesn't work out, I have to do something about that, but let's check it out for now. Okay, so let's get back to the pin and keep working on that. Sulfur. So with the sulfur, I'm going to need the oxygen gas there. I already decided that I'm going to use the oxygen from this array here, so we're going to work there, and well, I guess the easiest way I see for this is to direct the hydrogen sulfide gas just towards where I need it. So I'm only producing 6 units of hydrogen sulfide gas right now, so I won't be able to satisfy this completely anyways, so that's something we have to work on too. Okay, but that only requires another washing plant, which is not too troublesome to achieve. Alright, so all the stuff gets burned right now, right here. So I'm starting now to pipe the material on the other side of the island, using as many underground belts as possible. Can I cross this? No. So going to where am I going to run then? Let's go like that. So fluid works are always some crazy stuff where you sneak around your base looking for ways to sneak around. Okay, But maybe we're going to do it like this. Just decided that I have an interest to sort it at the edge of the whole system here. Just to make sure that it doesn't get into my way too much. But yeah, there we have it. So I'm going to produce sulfur out of this by adding oxygen gas. It's going to be quite easy, and the next production steps will be over here. We're already 35 minutes in. Time is flying. Oh my god. So, I'm afraid I won't be making it this episode to get the slurry flowing, but, well, it's okay. It's a first setup. I have to learn a lot of things in between, too. I have to think more about it because I'm new to this whole thing, and I'm pretty sure that setting up the future produce will be a little bit less time-consuming. At least I hope that. But then again, I'm not too sad to take a lot of time to finish Seablock, because after all, when you're finished with something, you're finished with it, and then you can't do it again. Like with I know that feeling most when reading a good book. Do you know that feeling when you're finished with a really good book and you're feeling like, damn, I wish I could just forget the whole story and relive it again? And basically that's the same what I'm saying here about good computer game content. When you're done with it, you're done with it. You can't just magically duplicate your experiences with that. So I like to cherish what I have here. So anyways, I'll be cutting this episode quite soon-ish. Just want to complete a few things of work here. Oh, that sounds like we're having some construction works in front of our windows now. Fun. Especially since it's getting warmer and warmer. Wow. So I guess somebody tells me to cut this episode here. I'm going to finish the slurry adventures in the next episode because we're getting assaulted by noise. So guys, feel free to drop me a comment down below, you know the drill. Also support this video by liking it, sharing it, or even subscribing to my channel if you want to make me really happy. We're going to let the juices flow next time, but now I have to close some windows. See you next time. Bye bye.